the seeds. The tomatoes have sprouted. They're just starting to form their first few leaves are poking out. They only took about 5 days to sprout. Some of the peppers are coming up. We still have our one little strawberry. The cherry tomatoes have all germinated and come up.
Yep.
The peas, these are very satisfying to grow. Peas sprouted within a couple of days and have gotten really big.
What's this?
And these are other tomatoes. So just a quick update on the tomatoes plants and the other seeds that I planted. And the peas need to get in the garden. They are getting way too big for these little containers. So hopefully in a couple of days I'll be able to plant in the garden and get those established out there. Just waiting for some warmer temperatures. My tomatoes, they've come up really good. I've kept both plants in the cups, just again using it as a learning experience to grow from seed. Started to have some purpling of the leaves. That one looks pretty good. But this one, the leaves on the underside started to turn purple and they're starting to curl now. A little bit of purple on the stem. So being new at gardening, when you get the first real leaves, I added some half-strength liquid fertilizer to the tray to bottom water, but I've been adding the fertilizer each time I water, which I've now learned is too much. They were started in seed starting potting soil, so they have fertilizer in them already. So I have over-fertilized my tomatoes. We will see how I fix this. What I did was ran the cups under some plain tap water. We're on a well system here, so there's no added chlorine or anything to our water. So ran them under the tap just to kind of wash out any excess fertilizer that might be in there, which has sunk the soil level. So I've taken off the initial leaves, the top, the first two leaves that they get. And you can see how purple the underside of those were. So what I'm going to do is fill the cups back up with just some regular potting soil and give them a chance to grow some new roots, have some fresh soil, and see if I can try to amend the excess fertilizer that I think they have. We'll try that and see how they go. The peppers have really started to take off. They don't really seem to be too affected by the over-fertilization. There is some purpling on the leaves, but they've grown a lot slower. But in the last couple of days, they've developed their second set of leaves, which are their first true leaves, and they are doing really well. We still have one tiny little strawberry plant that germinated in this pot. He's doing really well. And we have some germination on the strawberries that were in here. There's 4 little tiny strawberries in this little tiny container. So I've also added a fan just to give a little bit of wind to strengthen them up, but overall I think they're looking pretty good. These cherry tomatoes, they're getting too big for these little containers as well, but I'm hesitant to move them to a new pot just yet. I don't know, we'll see. This one's got the purpling under the leaves and into the stem, but they seem to be doing okay. Anyways, learning experience. We're learning as we go. Okay, so I'm gonna add some soil to the top of these cups. I didn't take the leaves off this one yet, but I'll take these little leaves off. I'll just pinch them off gently. Those are those first leaves that they grow from seeds. So we'll just pinch those. And I'll top the cups up with some fresh potting mix. So these cups, I did overwater them just to give them some clean water without any fertilizer, so the soil that's in them is really wet. So I'm going to see how much water comes up into this really dry potting mix before I give them any extra water. I'm just going to see how much water comes up into this soil. We'll leave it for maybe an hour or two just to see how much water comes up into this fresh potting soil. Okay, so now I will just continue on with the rest. So we've got them all filled up to the top. The starter leaves are taken off, and we'll see how they do with that. We can see how the leaves are starting to curl. Too much fertilizer. We will keep learning. I also wanted to show you what came in the mail the other day. I ordered a couple of mixes from Costco, a peony mix, large cut flower dahlia mix, and the florist favorite. So it has some lilies and some other filler plants. Those will all be going out into the garden probably in the next week. I have a spot picked out for most of what's in there. I'll let you know where I plant them, and we'll watch them grow and see how their progress is. My second shelf that I have under these grow lights, some mint. It's doing really well. It's really tiny, but this is going to go out in the garden in its own container just to keep it contained because it is mint. The dill, I moved out of these yogurt containers, so they were started in these containers. And I potted them into some bigger containers to give them some more strength. I've started some cucumbers in the bigger pots because they will be quick to germinate and ready to go in the garden in probably 3 weeks, and will be more than ready. I think outside by then it'll be the 1st of June. And I started some flowers in these little cell packs. Marigolds, snapdragons. I started some basil and some lettuce. Started on May the 8th, so 3 days ago. I just potted those up in the leftover seed mixture that I had. These are zinnia, jumbo zinnia, and in 3 days we have one sprout starting here and another one just coming up in that cell as well. And back here, I've just noticed these are the mixed greens, so the lettuce, and they have germinated as well. So we have lots of little, and these were just sprinkled on and lightly covered up. So this is a mixed greens lettuce that I'm starting inside, and these will again move out to the garden in probably a week, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see how much they grow in here. Also, snapdragons and basil. The basil will probably take the longest to germinate. Little one there and there. So we have some germination on the jumbo giant marigolds as well. seeds, they know what to do. You just have to give them the right environment, I guess, and they will do their thing. Excited to see how this all turns out.